All right, so we definitely discuss. So we just reviewing the fixtures. So of course, next game we have Chelsea versus Leeds. Chelsea finally getting a clutch victory versus Leeds. Now, Kepa back in the fold. I know some people would have had Kepa clean sheet. Of course, we have Fofana with the goal and Chilwell with the assist. Again, none of the guys that all the money was spent on doing anything yet again. Sorry about that, Joe Felix. Why Caps? I know you was really banking
he
on
hit
that.
the bottom of the crossbar.
Yeah, yeah. I knew he was
Yeah,
banking
yeah.
on that for
Bad
sure.
lucky,
That was tough.
Yeah.
bad lucky.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
tough one for sure. Right, moving swiftly along. I won't dwell on Chelsea because we have no access to really. Whew, one of the best games for the weekend, right? Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 2. Arsenal, of course, in a bit of a race there, title challenge, and were pegged back 2-0, and then as they were able to make a thrilling comeback and add
Comeback of
3
champions,
goals.
I would say.
Right? Yeah, I ain't going there. Come on, challengers. Right? I ain't going there. Reaching far, but you can say that. I am not saying. You have all rights to say that.
You don't
Right?
want to. You don't want a good motive.
I want to do nothing. I ain't saying a word. Right now, this is a challenge, an accidental challenge. That's what's going on right now. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Right? But Ramsdale 1 point, and of course Neto 2 points. He made some saves. He got a yellow card. He could have been 3 points at least. He could have outscored Ramsdale. Imagine that. Conceded less goals, but could have outscored Ramsdale because of the save points. Of course, none of the contributors, any of the average FPL players would have had none. So we got no points unless someone had a crystal ball. Maybe Ben White, right? Ben White would have been the only one I want to say bravely out of all these assets. Most people would have had probably Ben White. So Partey, White, Nelson were your goal scorers, and Smith and Nelson the assisters, and of course a brilliant goal by Nelson. Nelson got a start today. It didn't look too hot, but we'll see how that progresses and reflects into the FPL moving forward because it looks like he will be utilized off the bench. But I won't jump on Nelson. We'll stick to the regular caps, Saka, Martinelli, or the guy caps. I ain't see us moving away from that caps, the usual caps.
Yeah. You have the core here with basically everybody will be have 2 out of 3 of them. So Nelson is a squad player, to be fair. Although he probably have more FPL points than minutes.
Right.
I remember in one of the earlier games he had a brace.
Yes, not
less than 5
I believe
minutes or
it was.
something.
Yeah, you're right. So you never know. Brighton. This one I wasn't shocked by this. It was a big result, though, a big scoreline. I think this is one of Brighton's biggest victories in a long while. So Brighton 4, West Ham 0. Steele, right? A name that we know very well. At a point in time, Paul, this was the strategy: have Steele as your bench goalkeeper and have Sanchez. You remember those days?
Steele and Sanchez. That was last season.
Yeah, right. Right, that was a big strategy by people. So Steele in the fold, Veltman, big up Veltman. So Veltman, so Welbeck, Veltman, McAllister, Mitoma among the goals. Pascal Gross used to be one of the big fantasy. At least for me, I used to real pick him
In the
back.
beginning of the season, Gross was the man to have.
Right, even 2 years ago, I used to real pick Gross. Gross was a solid player, right? McAllister, Mitoma, and Buonotte in amongst the assisters. So again, this is a good match to highlight because, of course, Brighton is doubling. Who here besides Mitoma caught your eye, Paul and Caps? I'll take you first, Paul.
Paul cut off, I think.
Oh, Paul cut off, right. So Caps, who you looking at? Hey, big up Ian, right?
Yeah, Ian, too early.
Yeah, I say so.
Yeah.
But there was a story today from Arteta where they say they have plans for him and whatnot. So, but a little too early.
Our plans will come like after the international break.
Yeah, after the international break, for sure.
Give him an extra 3 weeks.
Yeah, fully agree. But thanks for coming through, Ian. I appreciate you. Voice your complaint, Ian. I don't want to hold back. Right. But yeah, Cap. So besides Mitoma, who here catching your eye, of course, for the double game coming up?
Well, definitely first would be McAllister because of the fact that he had a penalty. And Brighton looked like a team that they would earn a lot of penalties with the attacking force they have. So probably McAllister and then March in the order.
Okay.
But I would actually go McAllister first, then Mitoma, then March.
Okay, I like it.
Because of the fact that he have the penalties.
Yeah. Shamir is not listed at this point in time on the injury list. That's March. Shamir was just voicing some concern there about injury to March. He's currently not on, and I'm using Premier League injuries.
I
And
think
he's
that
not
was
here.
last week though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's just a knock. Yeah, just a knock. So nothing to panic about. Estupinian and Mitoma on the right. So that's the guys that you and I down for sure. I'm not vexed with that. Paul, who you eyeing down from besides Mitoma? Who you eyeing down from Brighton?
As we said before, Mark looking good. He's on the right hand side. And he has some good underlying stats, although he hasn't accumulated the points like Mitoma and McAllister. He's getting forward, he's getting there. So, he may come through for them in this game, in this double game week.
Not vexed with that at all.
Yeah.
Right. We have some interesting double games. Speaking of interesting, Southampton amongst one double. Southampton 1, Leicester 0. Very shocked by this. Alcaraz, this is not his first contribution. I think recently he contributed well. Che Adams consistently. That's one of the few guys I always talk about.
Along
Southampton. Right? Yeah. Right? Always someone that we talk about in and out because he's the most consistent and most likely to get something. Right? Most likely. And Leicester slipping, don't mind Madison is back, but we have to pick up Ward. Anybody that had Ward, penalty save, 4 saves, and he got all 3 bonus points despite being on the losing end of the match. Craziness.
It was a tough look on Madison also. I think he had 4 assists that could have been goals. Like clear. Like if it was Jamie Vardy on the end of those assists, it would have been on the end of the crosses, it would have been goals.
Yeah.
It was real tough for Madison and owners.
Yeah, natural throw in.
Yeah, he had a horrible game.
He missed some real easy opportunities.
Yeah. 1,100% agree with you. Because I was telling him it would have been a goal fest. Trust me, it would have been a different type of game.
Leicester was supposed to win this game comfortably.
Agreed. Yep. Fully agree. That's a good call there for sure. But Madison, anyway, we'll talk about that. I don't want to rush the brush caps. We'll talk about that. Right? Because we have to pay attention to who's blanking, who's doubling, that kind of thing, of course. Speaking of double trouble, yes, so 2-2, Nottingham 2, Everton 2. Everton scoring more than 1 goal. That's nice to see. Navas, nothing. Pickford, nothing. Our goal, a brace from Johnson, a guy that I have on the bench now. I want to laugh with you all because you all told me to bench Gakpo.
Yeah.
Start Johnson. I did not listen. I started Gakpo instead. So,
you can't complain.
It's still tough.
I'm vexed, but I'm vexed with Kane. But we'll get there.
I'm not going to say that. You should have bench Kane.
Drop Kane. Drop Kane and mash up the dance and make at least 60 points, at least. But you know me, I don't really complain much about those things. That's how it goes sometimes. But someone who always talk about a lot, Gibbs White amongst the assists, Yates, one of my favorite Everton players, not just Everton, but midfield players, Doucouré. I love Doucouré, especially last season. He was brilliant. Gray's another one I'm a big fan of there amongst the goals. Keane and McNeil amongst the assists. I must say, I can't remember ever seeing McNeil so much named so much times on the receiving end or giving enough points.
Yeah.
A long time.
Correct.
Long time, right? Yeah, because McNeil might just do, when he was at Burnley, a once in a while caps, and then all right, cool.
Buckley was a good crosser, but the strikers never used to finish the goals.
That's it.
But I think he's ticking along. Yeah, nobody wouldn't buy him, but
of course not.
He's ticking along. He's showing a little potential. Yeah.
If Everton had to ever double again, he might be a cheeky shot.
If you have DCL playing, I think he would be a better.
Come on, exactly. Now we'll talk about this. Let me break it down first. So of course, Alisson was a bonus point. He got some save points. They here -1. Right? So Liverpool 7, Man U 0. Now, Paul, this is not a football show. But my views on this. I saw people like laughing at Man U and whatever Liverpool fans. But is there a 7-0 trophy that I don't know about? because I do understand, man. You're still two. This is not the real them. They have not suddenly dropped to fifth. You know, Paul, how you
Is
coping this way?
It's easy rivalry is that Manchester United Liverpool rivalry. And anything that happens in that rivalry, it gets magnified a million times over.
Yeah,
So especially, I mean, a crushing defeat like this, yeah, you would hear about this.
yeah,
This would be in the news for some time.
yeah.
It
But
was
I
it was
mean,
it was shocking to say the least because I was expecting goals in this. Yes, I didn't.
right.
I was actually I wouldn't have been surprised if we lost the game because I was expecting a little bit of a all the football we've been playing and a little drop. You were seeing the standards starting to drop a little bit in the previous couple of games. So, but I wasn't expecting 7-0. That was the shocker there.
Yeah. I watched this game in Island Bay with a friend of mine after the F1. And yeah, we were in shock. Now, of course, Gakpo scored my brace. I told him before the game, I said, yo, I'll take a 4-2-5-2. I just need that Gakpo brace to help me with this Johnson madness. Bam, Gakpo delivers. All right, I will take that. You could come back now and just, but
And the funny thing, I had Salah. I still had Salah in my squad. I kept
nice.
him because I thought he might do something.
Right,
And
right.
boy, did he do something?
He
Two goals
delivered,
and two
correct.
assists. Yeah, it was crazy.
And this is why, Paul, we always try to advocate to there's no heart and love in fantasy. You can't play with your heart. Yes, you don't want to, of course, your team playing, you want to put triple man you against Liverpool for the sake of it, but you had to be, you had to play with your guts and be like, nope, gut say nope, don't bring those men, bring in Salah. And yeah, and you're enjoying your points.
Well,
Now,
well, actually, I had Darwin. The only thing is I left Darwin on the bench because I wasn't expecting all
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Look at this fraud. Look at this fraud. Eh, you all are trash whole season. Whole season. Why you want to hear about it? Whole season Liverpool is crap. That's why you're not getting Champions League positions, right? And we're gonna get knocked out this week, but that's a whole different way. But Paul, do we panic? Is it time to panic? I say no, get rid of Rashford, get rid of Dallo, get rid of
no, not at all. Not
right.
at all. To me, it's just one result and one bad result. And they will bounce back. As a matter of fact, they played in Europa League today, and it
Yeah,
was quite a response.
I
And they
watched the
got,
game
beaten
and
Real
it was
Betis
as good.
4-1.
Yeah. I watched the game. I watched the game. You played very well today.
Yeah,
Caps.
so I wouldn't jump off of Manchester United as such. Yes, I mean yes, they have the game against Southampton this weekend.
Right.
That should be a good game. It's at home, and then the blank game week, but they have a double game week after. So I would hold on to my Manchester United assets if I still have them.
Now, Caps, as a neutral, you panicking, time to get rid of Rashford for you. It isn't at all or just up there.
Just a blip. I would keep Rashford, but only Rashford for the next 3 weeks. Only Rashford. Yeah.
And of course, they blank soon anyway. So,
The blank next game week. Yeah.
yeah. Right. So that's
Yeah, but
just
you
something
wouldn't
to
sell Rashford because you have
No.
a lot of value in him. Yeah.
value. You'll bench him.
Yeah.
You won't panic.
He'll be one of the bench players. Yeah, for sure.
Correct. You won't just panic sell him. I agree. All right. Well, that's all. I mean, and now Liverpool assets now. Now again, I am not fully convinced by this, fellas. Between you and me, I'm not. Now we said last week that Liverpool got back their spine, their core, so they maybe eventually going to turn a corner because most of their premium assets or the prime assets that could carry them over the line are back, are fit, are getting minutes. But I'm still not fully convinced. And I believe Liverpool also blank as well. So that's another thing to be mindful of. So
Yeah, you want to rush to get them these
Yeah.
couple game weeks unless you want a wild card next week or this week, or you want to
right.
cheeky slot in somebody and bench them next week,
Right.
which may be advisable. But other than that, if you're not playing any chips, not until post blank.
Yeah, 29 or so. Yeah, for sure. Last but certainly not least, a very entertaining London derby on Monday. We had Brentford 3, Fulham 2. Of course, his scoreline does not reflect how Brentford played. It should have been 8, as he's joking, but it should have been way more. Way more. Brentford should have had a hat trick. Tony should have had a brace. We still should have scored. It was just madness. But again, now Fulham didn't look that terrible. This is Brentford was just that good. It was so again, this
Brentford is a well-drilled team. I must have
Thomas Frank.
Yeah,
I think
Brentford is
they're on a 12-game unbeaten run now.
Correct.
yeah.
So the most Most unbeaten games since the World Cup.
I think
since
they deserve a Europe spot. Europa spot.
Yeah.
The another thing too, they've only lost once at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they lost to any of the big four.
Top
or
six.
something,
Well,
yeah.
four, except the team
Yeah.
got challenging. Yeah, except the team got challenging. Yeah, that's the only team that beat them up.
They beat
Well, not
City, they beat Liverpool,
correct.
they
United.
beat Chelsea, they beat United.
Yeah.
I like this question
And
from
they
Ian.
even drew with Arsenal recently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
they
this
drew that.
recent one. Yeah.
The
Beat them at
recent-
home and they drew. Yeah.
What we're
correct.
going on, Brentford, there is draw plenty games against the lower teams.
Yeah.
That would have scored Brentford.
Well, they almost drew against Fulham, but they handled
Yeah.
themselves well. Yeah. This is a very good question here from Ian because I mean we spoke about him last week. This is his what, fifth now consecutive?
Fifth goal, yeah, fine.
Fifth consecutive, and also Vinicius second straight, I think, contribution to points as well. So, but let's get into it now. So Tony, Jensen, Pinnock, the goal scorers for Brentford, Norgard, Hickey, and Shade. He was a young guy that came. I think he's only 21 or something. He's very young.
Yeah.
Now Hickey, no, Pinnock. Pinnock was the defender. I know everybody's trying to guess which defender amongst Pinnock, Henry, and me would have gotten some kind of goal contribution. Pinnock was Johnny on the spot and got the goal, right? So I know that hurt a few people. Solomon, Vinicius amongst the goals, Andreas amongst the assists. As we just said, Solomon fifth straight. Fulham, only Solomon looking decent. On somebody to look at and maybe bring in as a shoe-in. Caps, what do you think?
For this game week, why not if you have a couple changes?
Yeah.
Sorry, for the next game week.
Next, not this one.
One with the blank, the 28.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of blanks, so
Actually,
why not he could be a player that would
well, Fulham blanking actually.
no Fulham. Oh yeah, Fulham blank.
Fulham blanking, so 29.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
right now, nope, we wouldn't touch Solomon right now.
Until post.
But he is looking good. We could put him on the radar. We could put him on the radar.
What's
He
his
is
cost,
looking-
by the way?
Sorry?
His cost.
Oh, I could bring that for just now. Remind me when you're looking at assets, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, I can always check it.
Yeah, that's a good question for sure. Right, let's look back at the leagues. Our Paul's team here. We can look at Paul's team quick before we go.
4.9.
Oh, that's not bad.
So he could be a
consistent-
nice enabler, yeah. A nice
Yeah.
fifth midfielder, yeah.
You think they conceded the 2 goals because they missed Paulinho, or Paulinho wasn't that big? Because I mean that was a decent concern. Someone raised it last week. That was a decent concern because when a team like Fulham loses someone like that, you're concerned now about the defensive assets that you have, or even the attacking assets. They may have to now change their role. That reminds me way back when with Crystal Palace, when Gallagher was doing well, but then he had to drop deep because they lost the CDM and we lost his attacking output. But it seemed that it just affected Mitrovic really. Mitrovic is the only one who seems to be off the boil. Paul, what do you think about that? It's still safe to go for some Fulham assets?
Yeah, no, it's a bit difficult because he's a big part of what Fulham do. I mean, Andreas is also creative as well, and Mitrovic it can be a threat, but he's been a little bit off the boil, and you could tell that Fulham really miss Paulinho in that game. So yeah, it's a bit difficult for them to play without him. You could tell.
All right, so I scraped up 52 points here. Leno in goal, Aylen, Trent, kept Ream, Gakpo, Rashford, Saka, Mitoma, Odegaard, Kane, Haaland, of course, Johnson and Kilman. So 20 points on the bench there. Could have been 72, but I don't cry over spilled points. That's all right. A few green arrows, we'll take that. Right? I'm genuinely not upset. I'll take that. That's how it goes sometimes. Let's take in the Fantasy Pavilion League really quickly. Let's see what's happening here. If any changes at the top, Caps if you're still safe. Right. So no changes really with the top 3. So Caps still up there, of course. We have Jonathan Matuka and Ian in our top 3. Daniel G, I think our big man fan coming up the road. He's normally a very good FPL asset trader as well. Stephen Curry dropped bad, really bad, because he was up in the top 3. So a few changes there about. Let's see what Caps had now. Caps approach. So Caps 37 and wildcard. So Caps walk us through.
Yeah.
Well, I know you don't want to, but walk us through. This is happening.
Yeah, this is
walk us through.
So Well, I basically set up for the next few weeks, to be honest with you.
Right.
In hindsight, we could not predict a Liverpool 7-0. We could not predict Ben White coming off the bench and scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Could not predict Pinnock getting a deflected goal instead of Henry. So, I mean, in hindsight, I have a strong team coming up with the wildcard. I just lost 50 points that I couldn't see coming either way. So that's
Right.
how the game is. It's a game. And I am at peace with my decisions and we're going forward. So I try to attack Chelsea fixtures. As you can see with Chilwell and Felix. Again, unlucky with Felix with the crossbar.
Yeah.
The standard Haaland. Tony was for the upcoming game weeks.
Of course.
March and Estupinian. I thought that West I would have given him a better fight, to be honest.
Okay.
March blank, so there's really no I didn't have McAllister or no Mitoma, so that's not points I would have had anyway.
Right.
Estupinian was I played Henry over Estupinian,
Mhm.
which probably was the only decision I had to make because I already had a Raya on the goal. So if I wanted to split the points, it would be a better decision to play Estupinian instead of Henry. But again, it cost 5 points, so it wasn't the end of the world. But happy with the team moving forward. As you can see, Madison was unlucky. Rashford is a must play. Odegaard had like 11 shots in that game. The Arsenal game. Odegaard had
Yeah.
11 shots on, and I think 4 was on target. So again, it was a wildcard to set up for game week 29. And I could only gauge a loss after game week 29
Yes.
with the current team I had on the wildcard. But I'm happy with it.
Okay. I'm not vexed at all.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at Paul team here. Now, actually, wait, just now. Before we do it, let's take a quick look at number 2 there really quickly, just to see what they went to it. And we'll take a look at Ian, because Ian took a nice rise there. So, of course, 50 points from Jonathan here. So, Jonathan had Kepa, he had White, Trippier, Shaw. So, from there, he had Salah. Nothing else really midfield. He did like most people on Captain Saka, which was a good call. Good call, right? And he had Ward and Andreas on the bench, so 19 points on the bench there. But he would have probably only cried for Andreas, really, right? Not too bad at all. Let's see what Ian did. So Ian climbed a bit here, so 49 points. So
Wildcard also.
Yeah, wildcarded as well, so not too hot. Kepa, Estupinian, all right, we went for Henry. Mitoma was the only big option in the midfield, and of course Tony, and nothing to cry for on the bench, thankfully. We know how that feels, but yeah, I know he would have rude this week. He wouldn't have been too pleased with that at all. I know the individual very well, so I know he wouldn't be too pleased with that. Let's take a quick look at Pablo. Let's see what Pablo did. Copy. Renisha's asking Caps, who's your captain this week? Asking advanced questions. We have your team.
I would say Haaland. Sorry, not Haaland. Ivan Toney. Because of the fact that I just can't tell you with confidence from Brighton which one of the 3 midfielders would bang.
Right.
So I rather just have them and captain somebody and know that we'll get short points from.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, either one game is Mitoma, one game is March, one game is McAllister. And I'm also not convinced by their fixtures also,
Right.
Because if you notice, there is a somewhat a derby or rivalry with Palace. That is always a kind of low-scoring game, the Palace game. Leeds, they might get something, but the Palace game is always a low-scoring game. I think they had like 6 or 7 1-1 draws in the last 5 years. I was checking some stats before.
No, that's good information. So, very, very good information.
So Brighton and Palace is normally a tight game, is a derby.
Right.
I don't know if a derby or a rivalry. I think I don't want to say the wrong.
Yeah, it can be a derby because they're not near each other. But yes, I get
a strong rivalry. And, even Leeds is under Garcia have tightened up a bit.
Right.
So I'm not convinced that Brighton will just be blowing away teams. As much as I'm convinced that Tony would tick along consistently for 2 weeks. Right. So that's my decision.
Okay. I'm not vexed with that. So, Paul, we have your team up. Walk us through your team now, really quickly. Tell us some of the thought processes, why you picked, certain players who you brought in. Talk to us. If it paid off, if any transfers paid off.
Well, well, first of all, I didn't have to use the wild card. In my opinion, the team was good as it was. So I decided to hold off on using the wild card because I had Tony, I had my Brighton assets. Well, I had Mitoma before. The only change I made was selling Van Dijk for Estupinian. But that was it. I decided to just leave it as it was. Bench. As I said before, I was expecting something from Salah, so I decided to hold on to him, hold on, to see if he could give me some differential points. Started Saka, Odegaard, and I put the captaincy on Saka, and I decided to bench Darwin. And
Yeah.
yeah, you could see it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I
so
was actually pretty happy when I saw. I mean, I was upset, but that was the only joy I got. I was like, oh God, we get like 7-0, but at least Salah can
yeah,
give me some points.
yeah,
I wish my bench boost could get me that much points.
Yeah,
bro,
and that's why I was watching too. I was like, what on the bench with 11, Darwin on the
bro.
bench with 12.
Yeah,
Boy,
that's
I could
22
have
points,
taken
bro.
some weird this week.
Yeah, at least what 85 or so you might have gotten there. Yeah, that's madness.
Yeah, and I was actually contemplating putting on Ward instead of Pickford because I had Pickford
Right,
as starting keeper.
starting keeper. Yeah,
But I decided against it because Leicester will concede some opportunities to concede some goals. So I decided let me try to take the safer bet with Pickford.
yeah. Now,
And
but
then
always remember, I do have to tell you this, but remember, always think about save points, save points. Sometimes
yeah,
I like to go the
yeah.
lesser keeper because forget the penalty save, you would have get some save points, you
Well,
know.
I thought I would have get save points on Pickford as well too because
Right,
he was running up
right.
against Forest, who is actually quite formidable at home. It
Correct,
was a
correct,
big win
correct,
for Forest.
correct.
So, but
Yeah, you wouldn't beat up on that
maybe it didn't work
decision.
out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that didn't work out. But I'm still happy. I'm glad that I got my points. I had Mitoma, thankfully, and I had Estupian came through with the clean sheet. And well, of course, the big points to me was Salah, and of course
Yeah.
Tony, having Tony
Tony.
on the side.
Yeah. And Mitoma, the Trinity. That's a
Yeah.
decent Trinity there. All
But
right,
Yeah, it
well,
was a
that's
but I
Fulham.
went out, but that wild card, it really hard for the people who use it because you're really planning ahead and and you're trying to get in your Brighton and your Brentford. But I would have done the same thing if I was in that position, because you really couldn't have predict Salah and Liverpool going off like that. So that was tough.
yeah, Brighton, yeah. The first goal and that penalty was so offensive. I agree. Yeah, well, Ian agree with you. You see that you're setting up for the following game when second
Yeah,
half
set up
comes.
for
Yeah,
like up to 29 at least. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Now, anyway, as we get into it, because I want to talk about Brighton assets, because Brighton assets are a little tricky because they, as much as they're doubling, they also blanking the next game week.
Yep.
So
So
next week you had 3 problems to deal with.
yeah, because to me, 29 is a better one to free it in more than 28. But we'll get there. we'll get there. That's just me thinking out loud. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I've
you
an,
all
yeah,
agree.
I've an
question
interesting
worth
way
having.
of working around that. But yeah, when we start talk about it, I'll
Yeah.
tell you my plan.
Because that's what I was thinking. If you had to free it, the free it chip might be the best thing in 29 because it's a mad flurry
We
of
get 11
doubles
double.
coming up. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that might be the better. But that's just me thinking out loud, eh?
Oh, there's also talk about snow
Yes.
and the Brentford fans traveling to Leeds. So
Yeah. Brighton.
I just
Brighton.
saying if you triple up on Brighton. I triple
Yeah.
up on Brighton and that game postponed,
Bro.
you're in trouble because you have people on the bench who would have a better single fixture than Brentford versus Palace.
Correct.
Sorry, Brighton versus Palace. So again, just be wary of all those conditions, especially
No,
with the captain.
right now all over England, but yeah, especially Leeds.
Yeah.
I think the game this is spoken about the most is the Brighton to Leeds. That's the biggest distance they need to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think right now Central London experiencing snow and like it's a bit of a off brand thing right now. No? So yeah.
No, in
I
March.
think
Yeah.
so. I think that's it.
So
So
was that in Manchester United's game as well earlier today?
yeah, it was why we were watching the game, Paul. I was like, what did you like? This is snow pelting down. I was like,
Then I had to
yeah,
put on the beanie all kind of thing.
yeah, and I got to real cover up. So that had me wondering. So it's like that's a good point. I think this was it last season, why with torrential rain, I believe. I can't remember which
Yeah,
fixture.
some fixture got
Yeah.
some fixture
It
got
was
put off
lightning
because
and
of the
stuff
weather.
like it was terrible, terrible weather. So this is not something we're not strangers to this at all
I
at
think it was
all.
the season before, if my memory serves me correct. It wasn't last season. Season before that
Ah,
was a Spurs game or something. Yeah.
Well, boy, and I guess seen it on Twitter. A lot of people complain about it in Central London, but for sure, Brighton. You saw the. I don't know if you saw the pictures. I was trying to pull up some pictures. Brighton Stadium completely covered, absolutely
Yeah, I don't know if
covered.
that was
Yeah,
a old shot or not, but I
yeah,
think
that's
it
what we're
was.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, big up Javid, boy. All right, 69. Right, Charles Gambino numbers. All right, that's not it. Compared to what I saw from some big boys, that's decent. That's decent. That's solid. Right.
Yeah, I would trade you. I would trade you. That's 69 points anyway.
Once you score
Yeah.
over 50 last week, you do really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Inside the dance, boy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
360, yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
think it was a hurricane, and I had
Yeah.
my captain and vice captain in that game, and I called up, and that when I learned my lesson to never captain and vice in the same game.
No,
Mhm.
yeah, well, yeah,
Because in case if
yeah.
yeah, I learned the hard way that week.
That's a serious thing. Like Ian asking about the snow. Well, why Ian right now we just want waiting to find out what's going on because we've seen a lot of tweets, seen a lot of pictures.
But the last thing I heard, I was hearing from one of the content creators, the FPL content creators, is that when they look at the forecast and talking to Leeds fans, they shouldn't. The game look like it will most likely still go on. By Saturday the conditions should dissipate. So you might experience the worst of it tonight into tomorrow, and by Saturday it'll start to calm down.
All right.
But that was the latest he heard from the forecast, the weather forecast. So you just keep your fingers crossed and see what's going on.
Yeah. They're just saying risk. Earlier this week they were saying it was a risk of snow, right? That's and then bam, snow, proper snow.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, it may cause delays with traveling and stuff, as Caps was saying, for them to go because Brighton on the coast. So that's a decent trip for some, like some I've seen like the Midlands for Leeds to go through. So yeah, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Javi saying the Wild Cup, he kept Salah. Hey, you going to the Palace? Nice man, nice man. All right, Ian. Ian, take pictures, send video, no, like it, fix them up, send something. Right, that'll be cool. That'll be real cool. When Oli say score the free kick, send something for me. All right, so let's get straight into it. No, because this fixture is very special to me because I remember a few, if not last season, the season before Paul, I brought in Gallagher just when he played this. That was game week 3 of that season. Gallagher was facing Crystal Palace and they weren't too hot. And I brought him in for that because he had a nice patch. And I find he was passing the eye test. Crystal Palace wasn't hot, but he's passing the eye test. And they beat them 2-0. So I'm hoping for a repeat. And of course, for other reasons, Paul. But of course, it would be nice for Palace to beat City. Right? For the fantasy, nothing else. And nothing else, Paul. No other reason, not because another team challenging for the title. Just for
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
fantasy, it'll
sure.
be nice. Or you say, or Eze to get something. So
Yeah,
let's get straight.
Zaha,
Huh?
Zaha, three Zaha
Yeah,
owners. Yeah,
yeah. Exactly. Nothing else but for fantasy. Nothing else. I would love Crystal Palace to beat City for no other reason. You know? Yeah, they do give them, yes. Yes, they do. And I'm hoping it's one of those seasons here. And I really, really hoping. Right? So of course, buy, sell, hold. Let's start with Caps talk to me. Buy, sell, hold. Who are the three? Who's the Trinity? Who are you looking at buying, selling, and holding?
I would buy a Brighton defender if you don't have one. Sorry, a Brighton midfield if you don't have one
Right.
by now.
And the options are
The options are in my order is McAllister, Mitoma match.
okay. Okay.
McAllister, Mitoma match. Sell. I would sell. You see, with the blank game week next week, it comes a little technical. So if I would sell, and then this game week, you wouldn't want to sell Liverpool because they're playing Bournemouth. So I sell this week is a tricky. You would want to sell Kane, who is looking horrible. Spurs just looking horrible at the moment, even though it's Forest are playing. Sell this game week is a very hard sell. But, if you want to play aggressive, you could if you double up on Arsenal midfield, you could probably sell one. Keep Saka. For me, Saka is the main one. You sell Martinelli, they get a Brighton.
Right.
So you kind of have the trade off there, buy and sell,
Yeah.
because you just get. But again, next week could be in some problems.
Yeah.
Hold. I would hold all the assets I mentioned before. All that they don't double. Kane against Forest, Salah against Bournemouth, Haaland against Palace, as this season have proven, the single game because most times the good single game because outscore the double game because, and this season I've seen that more than previous time. So you have your big guns against the smaller teams, you bank on them. Because totally wouldn't be surprised if Brighton draw those 2 game 1-0 and you get nothing from any one of those guys.
Right.
As opposed to having Kane against Forest, Salah against Bournemouth, Trent against Bournemouth. I see some people benching Trent against Bournemouth. I would totally advise against that. Trent against Bournemouth. And also not high on Newcastle defenders anymore.
Right.
Although they have a couple game weeks, you can just see that they ran the race already early on the season.
Yes.
And the rest of the season for them is going to be a difficult battle. I won't be surprised if they even drop out of the Europe spots at the end of the season. With the way that Brighton and Brentford is playing. So I'm not high on Newcastle assets. So I would, if I double up on the defenders, I would sell one and get a double game week player.
Now, I have a few counterpoints to some things you made because you bring us some good names there. Now, to me, that Bournemouth Liverpool game going to be very interesting, especially as the home are going to the Vitality Stadium there. Because it's not in the cup, and it's home, right? Bournemouth
Yes,
home, right?
yes, Bournemouth is home, yeah.
Right, Vitality, right. No, not just because of first experience, but I've been watching them play against some of the big teams. It started against Newcastle, and yes, Newcastle was in a dip, but that was the one team you would expect Newcastle to punish. City beat them, yes, but it still looked good. It didn't look demoralized and look like they were totally out of the game. They played us, and we had to dig deep at our own home. If Sunday's victory against Man U was just a blip, I think this will definitely show it. Because let's be real, Liverpool weren't spectacular. It's literally just as they get the ball in the box, they score. They were just clinical, and I'm using that term loosely, right? They weren't great. Man U didn't play spectacular, just that they literally just took all the chances. That was it. And I am not overly convinced that they will overturn Bournemouth.
I think to back up your point too, Jared. Sorry, Cap. The XG from Liverpool in that game was 2.7 or 2.8 like that, or something like that. So it was kind of freakish that they were able to come away with 7 goals with that kind of XG, you know.
Yeah.
Just watching the stats.
But that's a football in terms you guys were mentioning, but in terms of FPL terms, I think it would hurt more if you sell those guys, replace them, and they bang. It will hurt you more. It will affect you more in FPL than in a as you mentioned, a football show.
Right.
Football
Right.
In FPL, I think if you sell Salah and he gets a 16 pointer, you sell Trent and get a 9 pointer, it will hurt more. And I think you stand to benefit with their rank more if they bang. At the end of the day, it's Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Bournemouth is heading for relegation and Liverpool is only up. So you would back. I mentioned last week backing your big players against these smaller teams. I think the trend of FPL, that's always the safest way to go. Back your big players against the smaller teams. More often than not, they will prevail. But I do get a point, and I won't be surprised if Bournemouth score. But I wouldn't be selling Trent or even benching him versus Bournemouth, home, away, neutral venue, anytime.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But
Paul,
I understand your points,
yeah. Paul, same thing by Sahul?
We all looking at double game makers, but I want to throw out a single game week option. Watkins could be a good buy.
Okay.
Because he playing in 28. He has some good fixtures, and he's been on fire lately. Although he blanked last week, you know, he's still the main man for Aston Villa. He's on penalties. They have good fixtures, as I said before. They playing in 28. I believe they have a double in 29 too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the double. Chelsea and Leicester.
Yeah, so Watkins could be a good buy. Another one I was looking at too, Chilwell, from Chelsea. You know, Chelsea still, although they're struggling with the goals, and you know, we talked about Chelsea, they started to get into some form, and their defense still kind of looking together. And Chilwell has been coming up big. He got an assist in the game just the other day against Leeds.
Yeah, he got one in Champions League also.
And Champions League with the penalty. So I mean, Chilwell could be a good buy too. You know. In terms of sell, that's a tough one to sell, but I can't really think of anybody who had sell. Probably as Cap had mentioned before, one of the Arsenal assets, maybe well I have Odegaard, so potentially depending on your team dependent. If you want, you could get rid of one of the Arsenal midfielders and get in on Brighton for the double game week. And in terms of hold, definitely hold on to Salah and Darwin. At least one more week, give it one more week, and then if you have your wild card or you have the extra transfers, you could always transfer them out next week. Pretty damn good week.
I have a question for you there because again you brought up something there. Now, the selling. Do we? If for someone who has five, I want five. What is five? Yeah, let's say 5 blankers coming up, and maybe only 2 doublers. Should they start at least offloading 2 of those blankers now? Those blankers could be Rashford, Salah, Gakpo, Darwin, Trent. It could be, yeah, those are the most premium blankers I could think of right now. Or even a Haaland in there. I know Caps will be shaking his head, don't sell Haaland. I agree, don't sell Haaland. But should they sell those kind of pedigree players for the doublers or hold? If you only have 2 doublers, should they hold the single guys or go for more doublers?
I think you should still try to hold on to at least the premium single guys. If it have guys who, like as I mentioned before, Odegaard, you don't really. Well, no, he not Odegaard. He playing next week. Was another. Somebody who play like Gakpo. You could get rid of Gakpo. Well, I know Caps is saying don't get rid of Trent, but if it's another Liverpool defender, you could get rid of them. Maybe Robertson, although he got an assist in the last game. But you try at least to hold on to the premium guys in the single game. If you could run out at least to me 9 or 10, 9 for the least in the blank game week is not bad. Is not a bad call.
Okay.
So try your best to hold on to the premium singles. Once you're seeing where it could work when it comes
because
to your
all right, this game week again we're looking at the fixtures, right? And a lot of the bigger teams have easier games. We agree, right? That's Arsenal, Fulham, Liverpool, Bournemouth, Palace, City, right? And then we had to ask ourselves which games Brighton likely to keep a clean sheet versus score more goals. And they try and make a decision from there. You try and predict the score, if you would say, or predict the form and that. And because I think our Brighton attacker is more necessary than a defender for this double game. Because you might find yourself a single game, you can playing one game against 6 points, and they concede 2 games Brighton, and they end up with a defender with 3 and 4 points. So you play it like that. So you see, where's your priority? You definitely need a Brighton attacker. You definitely need a Brentford attacker, whether it's Tony or Bremo. Well, based on your funds, and you get those essential players first. I think defense is always trickier one because they could easily concede the 2 games.
Yeah,
the defense is always the trickier one. You need to attack more. Play the attack. Give preference to the attacking ones.
Or if you're going for a defender, try to go for someone who has that attacking potential, like S2.
Yeah, like a Estepinian or something. Yeah,
you could go for him or even Ben Mee. Well, for me, Brentford defense, any one of those defenders actually. Whether it's Henry or
give it value, give it value.
Then me and all, is a threat, So that's a good
Now, Ian asking a very good question again. Do we sell Haaland until after the Liverpool game? No, I know Caps. I know you feel.
No, yeah.
I know you
from
feel.
next game week. The game week are the blanks,
right?
And the Liverpool, because you will have a player playing 3 games and he only playing 1. So you could see the upside there.
Yeah.
Just know that you have to pay like 0.5 million more for him or 0.6 million.
I'm actually thinking about Haaland to Watkins as a move.
That will be a very popular move next
year.
Keep that same energy, Paul. Because I'm telling you, when you all see my team, you all might sign out. Do sign out.
And City midfield, I would stay away from them.
Right. Well,
if you have one. If you have one, they are the likely ones you can make the switch with because you can't predict them.
Yeah. So we'll see if you play in UCL, like myself and some others, I was telling you, I told you all the best option was Grealish. Foden. Mahrez will be out for sure. He's captain
Mahrez is
UCL.
UCL
Yeah,
player. Yeah.
captain UCL.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing is he wasn't
I
utilized
think
as much
Foden
last
hit
season.
a run of form.
Yes, yes. So Foden is the man, Grealish is the man, are the men right now. Bernardo, those
But
are the
that's
men
if you
right now.
own.
But again,
That's if you own them.
yeah,
You
that's
buy
it.
them. Yeah.
That's it.
You wouldn't
But
buy.
I wouldn't suggest buying those guys, especially with the blank coming up. And you see, you're saying sell Arsenal assets. I understand why. But to me, as a kind of sideways move because Arsenal are not blanking and they're still playing. They're continually playing for at least the next 4-5 game weeks. So it's good to hold those guys and probably. But of course, you don't want to risk selling Rashford and stuff. So you quicker sell a Martinelli to hold on to Rashford, bench
Yeah.
him. So I understand. I completely
It's a lot
understand.
of technicality with
Of
this next 3
course.
games because it's
Of
like you
course.
play 1 week, you double, you blank, then you block the double. So
Of course. Transfer radar. Who now not necessarily again just for this game week, but who you eye on? Who giving you who giving the cataract there? Who bothering you? Who have the eye twitching white caps way?
I would say a Chelsea attacker, mainly Felix Bar, would give Kai Havertz priority because he plays this week against Leicester, who is not defensively strong. They play next week against Everton, who is again not defensively strong, and they are away from home Everton, and then they double. So they get the best of 3 worlds there, 3 game weeks where he don't blank and he have a double in 29. So I would say, although Chelsea underwhelming also, but if you're playing the fixtures and you're playing the less risky game, Chelsea's a good, consistent pick throughout for the next 3 game weeks. Because they could give you the option to also bench boost in 29. Because they double. So well, I already have a Chelsea forward, but I would suggest a Chelsea forward, a Chelsea defender even. James or Chilwell, nobody else, because again we was mentioning the defenders with the attacking potential. So even though they concede, they have something that they can get from them still. They can get bonus. And if they do not concede and they get an attacking return, you will skyrocket in the rankings because not much people own them. So for me, 2 Chelsea players outside of the Brighton and the Brentfords we mentioned earlier.
And I've for that. Paul, transfer radar.
Yeah, I agree with Caps on that one. Definitely Chelsea defense. I'm not too sold on Chelsea forwards. I have to see something from them first, but definitely Chelsea defense. Another option too, you could go in on Aston Villa as well. Aston Villa defense. Maybe Mings or even Matikash, as we were talking about earlier, because they have some good fixtures and they seem to be doing pretty well defensively as well. They got another clean sheet this weekend, so yeah, Aston Villa could be a good shout as well. Any one of their defenders.
Before I address Ian bring up 2 good points. I want to tackle those points. For me, I would say no. You know me. This could meld into our differential section as well too. Right? Actually, no. I'll keep it simple. Let me go the obvious. I'll save the other player for differential. So I think I'm Buemo for me on my radar. For me now, everybody going Tony. You know me. I'm opposite man, right? I want to get those other points. I want to get that weird point. So I think I'm Buemo. But I have a differential. Remember when you bring up the differential, I have a very interesting differential to bring up for this game. So I have Foden. So my question is Foden to Mitoma both blank next week. Well, of course you go for the double. You go for the double. I mean, you can't go wrong there with that. What you say, Caps and Paul have to go for the double. You take that risk.
Yeah, see, that one is team dependent,
Right.
To be quite honest with you, Foden could easily bang against Palace.
Easy.
You can see that Foden is a very high reward player. High risk, but high reward because his risk is always minutes. But when he plays, he gets consistent points. He gets goals, he gets assists. Yeah. But I think that move kind of sideways. But
yeah,
again,
so Foden's a whole. Yeah, Foden's
this
a
game
whole.
week, yeah.
Yeah, Foden's a whole. Well, all right, Ian. Next one. Would you sell Sanchez? No, sorry, wrong. Oh, sorry, I'll come back to you, Javi. Haaland, Kane, Tony, who to sell for Felix?
This game week? If it's this game week, you sell Haaland.
All right.
Because Kane plays Forest and he plays next week and he
he doesn't blank. Yeah. Correct.
Kane consistently plays.
Correct.
I've afraid to sell Haaland this week.
And everybody. Yeah.
Because he scored a hat trick against Crystal
Yep.
Palace last time too. So
17 points. Yeah.
yeah, so nah boy, I won't take that chance.
Fair enough. Would you sell Sanchez for Steele?
No, not this game week.
Yeah, not goalkeepers. Not
Not this
goalkeepers.
game week.
Yeah.
Because I think Brighton manager said that Steele is good in some moments and Sanchez something. It was ambiguous. It wasn't that
Yeah.
who's the clear number one. So
Yeah.
you won't be surprised if Sanchez start one of those games.
Just make sure you have
Steele
a
start one
solid.
and then they're trying to put pressure on Sanchez. So it could be a managerial something. Yeah.
Yeah. Javi saying Foden is a keep. All right. So they have it here. I agree. I think because both blanking. So if you really want me to sell one of them Arsenal assets, I know you have 3 of them. Right? Pope has backup. Newcastle. Right pressure away. Poor boy. Pope playing. Boy. But he doesn't. Pope blow blank in 28. So that's a
They play Forest.
They're not, but they do blank in 28. So that's comforting. That's comforting.
And they are the double next week too.
Yeah, they haven't
Yeah,
there.
but
Yeah.
Man, you want somebody in the double. Yeah.
They're playing Wolves. Now, Wolves in a bit of form, but they come into St. James's Park. So that's very interesting. That's very, 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 very interesting. All right, moving right along. Traps. Traps. Who are the big traps? Is Foden a trap? Just joking.
Harry Kane is a trap because
All right.
I sold him on my wild card for the mere fact that Tottenham is just underwhelming. But people is holding on to Kane because first thing at the back of their mind that he's a premium asset. And we
Right.
just like premiums.
Correct.
Sometimes we budget this play with our thinking too much. That we need to use our budgets. And he plays consistently, but he also only plays single game week fixtures throughout this period. So for me, Harry Kane is the biggest trap in the game. He could prove me wrong this weekend, but again, judge it after 4 game weeks. So he blanked last game week. Then they have Nottingham, and then they have Forest, then they have Southampton, then they have a single game week. So judge it over that period of time, and then you tell me if I was right or wrong that Kane is a trap.
Yeah. All right. Before I go to Paul, I want to jump in. I think McAllister is a trap. Honestly, I feel because let's be very real about McAllister. McAllister has not banged in any consistent form since he came from the World Cup.
How long we call him on McAllister? Drew a goal.
Come on, right?
Since
he's just on pen, so that's what have everybody tissing. Once you're on penalties, I feel manager ears always pricks up. But for me, trap. I could go gross.
But I must say though, since they haven't played this number 10 role, he seems more threatening. Since the Zebegi haven't played now.
Yeah. But he's not a natural finisher compared to Mitoma and those guys. He's not a natural finisher. Yeah.
Mitoma is actually one. Mitoma is the one who's the real finisher. He's returned in 8 of the last 11 games.
Right.
Yeah. So I could go for Mitoma.
Yeah. Or Gross or March or Welbeck, Ferguson, anything else. But
Ferguson is an impressive shot, eh?
Yeah. We'll talk about him in the next segment there. Cap. I'm sorry, Paul. So traps. Who's your big trap? Who frightening you?
Arsenal defenders right now, but I seem like they can't keep a clean sheet. Actually, wish I didn't still have Gabriel in my squad, but I just had to roll with it. But yeah, don't try to get if you're going in for defenders now, stay away from Arsenal defenders. Perhaps was bringing up the point about Newcastle as well earlier too. It seems like they plateau, and it probably might not be. I've seen a lot of people doubling up. They go in for Trippier and Botman. If you could just go for one, go in for Trippier, and that's it. Yeah. Because at least he still give you that assist potential. Right. But in terms of keeping clean sheets, I don't think Newcastle.
And also, Shaw was injured last game, so that's a hole on the defense there already. Lascelles is a big step down from Shaw.
Yeah, exactly. So I find Newcastle defense and Arsenal defense are traps right now.
No, Caps, you've been saying that for a while. I saw your smile. You've been saying that, and I've been telling people to stay away from Arsenal defense. Because even at home, especially at home, they conceding a lot. They're doing better away, and even away they're still conceding, yes. But at home, we're letting them go like rain.
I think what gave us other security or fooled us a bit was the game against Everton and the double game week when they had the 2 clean sheets.
Yes.
I think it was Everton and who was the next team? I can't remember. Leicester.
Leicester.
Yeah.
And Leicester could have scored it.
And
Yeah,
then
so
the next thing to recently Zinchenko score and now this week Ben White.
Ben
You know,
White, correct.
but the thing about it, you don't know. You don't know if he might rotate. Just today they had Europa League. You know,
Yeah.
so they had. I mean, I think they did rotate the defenders, but you never know. Ben White didn't start the last game. I mean, he came on and he scored, but you know, what if he going back to the bench again? You know, if he do play him. You know? So
Yeah.
it's just that little rotation issue right now, especially between Tomiyasu and Ben White.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
I would stay away from that.
Yeah, I fully agree. Right. Differentials. I kicking it off. Jensen for Brentford. I think he's a solid shout because he's someone that comes in and out. No, he's consistent-ish. But when you're sleeping on him, everybody jumping on him, or Tony or the defenders, but Jensen, no, even Norgard, right? Norgard is another name that pops up, right? But if you all agree, let me know. Differentials, Paul. We start with you.
Well, yeah, you actually took the name right out of my mouth. I was thinking about Norgard.
Right.
So, also, your boy Mbueno could be a good shout as well too.
Yeah.
You know, he's on set pieces as Ian now.
Ian, big up Ian. Yeah.
And he had a great opportunity to score in that last game. He just didn't finish. But Mbueno is a good differential shout. If it is you're looking to double up on Brentford offense, a lot of people doubling up on Brentford defense with double game week, but it could be a little differential if you go with two attackers, go with Tony and Mbueno. And mix it up a little bit. You know?
In the league I'm in with you, I think that's what I did, Paul. I did Bemo and Tony. I didn't go defenders.
Yeah.
Caps, differentials.
Well, I was proud to have on this week Ben Chilwell.
Right.
No, we I don't know why this comparison with our regimes being the best defender for FPL, because I totally disagree with that. If we over the last couple of years tally points per game, Ben Chilwell is outscoring regimes on every stat, on every different way we could count it. Ben Chilwell is a more FPL wise, I'm talking here. Is a better defender in FPL than regimes. And again, this week showed that how advanced he is. Ben Chilwell is on the middle of the box for set pieces. He's on free kicks, on corners, he's in the middle of the box, if you notice. Right in front of the keeper. And a little bubble there is easy for the tapping. He's very good at crossing the ball. He's always in this position where on the back post, when somebody miss a header, he's always on the back post. I don't know if you watch the games, but he's always in and around the box. And he's a good defender. He's defending very good because last game he had some one-on-ones in the box. And I thought that he dealt with them very good from somebody coming back from injury so long. So for me, I real high on Ben Chilwell this week. And I still high on João Felix for the next 3 game weeks, up until 29. I think he had the par like 3 or 4 times since he came to Chelsea. Twice in the Champions League, once in the league last week. He's looking good. He's just not getting the points. But a little bad luck. I think he was real disappointed when Potter took him out last week at 60-something minutes. You could see that he knew he was going to get something in the game and he took him out. So I think he had a little hunger.
He's doing his best Darwin impression.
And he played for a contract also because I think he's enjoying life in London. So I think Felix again, although he blanked last week, is a good shot. So a high on Chelsea against the crowd a little bit, but high on Chelsea.
All right, fine. So that well, I'm glad you mentioned Chilwell. Now Chilwell is a differential / maybe someone back on the menu because he was someone that Chilwell always splits FPL managers because it would have been him and it would go Alonso and then him and Reece now. Then it come back again. Now I have no stake in that particular conversation, maybe because I think either one has their own attributes. But Chilwell, for some reason, even with minimal minutes, for some reason, I think he's the best optimized defender because for some reason you can get 4 minutes, 5 minutes, come on late in a game and still do something.
Goal,
it's sickening. It's because Reece will play a full 65, 70 and nothing at all. Reece has to get it going from the start.
Last season he had like 4 consecutive goals or something. Chilwell. It was just amazing to own him at that block in that chunk of time.
Yeah. Paul, anybody from this particular game week 26 that pass a old name, a name that we haven't heard in a while that pop up and have you considering them? Maybe not just for 27, but further on. Anybody at all that pop up?
When Ole hear this name, I mean, is a FPL, a FPL asset. He's definitely known. But when you hear this name, you'll be like, oh yeah, what about him? Danny Ings.
Right. All right. So he's back on the menu for you.
Yeah,
West Ham.
He's looking good for West Ham.
Right.
Well, he got rested today. West Ham played in Europa League. It looks like they starting Antonio in the Europa League games and
Right.
they starting Ings in. So he's getting minutes in the Premier League, but he's getting opportunities. He's back in among the goals. So he could be a nice also differential child, but also back on the menu. And their game's not bad as well too. They have Aston Villa next, Southampton after that. I think they play in the blank game week and in the double as well. So they could be a good shot.
Yeah, and I've to that. But I want to throw a very weird name at you. Now again, not necessarily right now, but especially for the blank coming up, he is not blanking, is playing. Are they doubling too? Hold on, let me make sure I ain't talking nonsense.
I feel where you're coming.
I know they're not blanking. Let me make sure they're doubling. Are they doubling? Oh no, they're not. They're not doubling in 20. That would be nice if it's blank, but they have a decent set of fixtures. And I'm talking about Raul Jimenez. Is he back on the field?
Yeah,
I know that's an off one, but you have points is points. The man returning. Wolves don't have a bad fixture run coming up. But I know that you think it's not doubling. If there was doubling caps, I'm telling you, I'll jump on Jimenez. That's the only thing.
I will counter Jimenez with a try already.
All right. I love it. Adama. Yeah, back on
because
the menu.
I was thinking Adama since I thought Paul was coming with Adama, but Adama he scored last game against Spurs, and they have a nice little fixture run with Leeds and Forest coming up. They don't blank either.
Right.
And he's not that expensive, 5.4. If you want to hold Rashford and buy somebody cheap, I kind of little thing getting to do with your budget and thing.
Yeah, I know.
Adama is a good little punt these next few weeks.
Yeah. Because as I said, they don't blank at all. They have straight fixtures for a while. So
and the fixtures not that difficult.
Not that
and I think that the philosophy of Lopetegui finally taking Wolves after a little while.
Yes.
That's why I wasn't too high on Newcastle before, because the fact that Wolves is now being coached well.
Yes.
As opposed to being with good individual talent. So I don't trust Newcastle against them. Yeah.
Fully agree. Right. When they forgive me 28 here and there and selling Odegaard. All right. Yeah. I ain't vexed with that.
Again, I wouldn't advise selling Odegaard, but we can have the discussion now with the teams and stuff.
Yeah, when we break it on the teams.
Yeah.
Now, the most important question I think this is one of the most critical decisions for the whole season for this particular game week, because there's for once we don't have just one outstanding player that we could go for, and our usual premium assets on the back burner for this one. So Paul, I want to start with you. You can go premium first and I can give him a differential, but who is the best captain pick? Gun to your head, Paul. Best captain pick. You have to pick someone who optimizing and going to mash up the dance, and then you have to pick a differential. Who's the best coming up here?
I had to go with a double game maker, and it have to be. I'll keep going back and forth in my head about this between Tony and Mitoma.
Right.
But I'm feeling like I'm leaning more towards Tony.
Okay.
Because of that him being on penalties, him being the man for Brentford, he always up front, always in and around everything that Brentford does. Yeah, it had to be Tony. Yeah.
I know back to that. Ian pull up Isak differential, so that's a great shout there for sure. He's back playing again. Yeah, good shout. And who's your secondary captain? Who's a differential or anybody at all, or only Tony on the brain?
Mitoma is obvious as well too. There's a close between two of them. So for my team, if I was to go with a differential captain, Rashford,
Okay, single.
As a single. Yeah, he coming up against Southampton. They playing at home. Remember they want to rebound from what happened last week Sunday. He looked good today. He's back on the scoring sheet again, and he's in form. So he could be a shot. He could hold. I mean, he's a single game week, yes, but as Caps alluded to earlier, the single game week players could outscore some of the double game weekers, so he could be a differential.
No,
Captain
it's a
this
great
week.
show. But
Yeah.
what's the history with that fixture though? Who normally has the I know you're obvious. Is there any funny stats, anything at
Which
all we
fixer?
need to be aware of?
Which
Um,
fixer is that?
Man United
Man, you
versus
Southampton.
Southampton. I know in the past they used to give us trouble, but I think lately we've had a number. Well, I mean we beat them earlier in the season, but that was a close one.
Right.
Mm. But I'm hoping it stays true to the form of what's the two teams right now. Southampton
Yeah,
struggling
I
to trying to
remember
get out of relegation, and Man United trying to make the push into the top three.
Okay. I
Well,
know
they're in the
best for
top
that.
three right now, but to
Yeah.
continue to stay up there, to stay in.
the fact that Man U, I don't see anything too tricky happening there.
Okay.
Yeah. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, there's a stat that I didn't I saw today that I didn't even realize. Man United have scored 2 goals in the last 15 home games at
Yeah.
Old Trafford.
Right.
At least 2 goals, and that's the first time they've done that since 2000.
Wow.
So he is.
So they love scoring goals at home, and I think it'll be more of the same this weekend. They'll be hungry to bounce back from that. I mean they bounced back today, but this was Europa League. But to bounce back in the Premier League with a big victory over Southampton. So I'm looking for some goals in that game.
Yeah, 29 years. Wow. Yeah, boy. Wow. See, Jack, we don't all know this stuff.
Yeah, you know the stats. Yeah.
Yeah, boy. Ian was saying they hit them 9 a couple of years ago. Now, the only
Yeah.
reason I brought up that question, because again, Paul, you will know this team better than us. I think Ward Prowse normally has a decent time against you all. Obviously not Southampton winning out the game, but Ward Prowse, I think he has a decent, if not maybe would have scored in the last few every other fixture. So I mean that's a decent, I just has the back of my mind, But it doesn't mean you will lose, obviously. But you all can concede in this game as Southampton has been scoring and they looked a bit more reformed in the back. But again, it is you all. And you all are different attacking beasts. Look, I think Rashford scored what 25 now, 24, 25 now in all competitions.
I think it's up to 26.
Wow, you see?
27, no, 27. I think he's up to 27 now.
Yeah,
I think
Ian saying it.
only Haaland and Mbappe in all the top European leagues have more goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, look, Ian saying he scores free kicks against United a lot. United do give up foolish fouls as well. Yeah, so hopefully, but you'll see why I bring that up. So, Cavs wrongness of the captain pick.
For me, the best out of the debate of
Thanks,
the
Javi.
doublers is Ivan Toney.
Okay.
You could safely see a 10, 12 points on him. And I think
Okay.
if I get it for my captain, I'll be totally fine. Let me give you a nice differential. And I think this down your alley, Jared. A Brentford defender. Play
A Feldman or
Everton.
something. Right.
No, Rico Henry or a Pinnock or a Ben.
Oh, you mean Brentford. Sorry, yeah, Brentford. Right, so I
Because of the
Henry,
fact that they play Everton and Southampton. Now, let's just say I back them for 2 clean sheets. They
Yeah.
have 12 points there.
Yeah.
They get 1 attack in return. You're up to 15 bonus. You can get 20 points on them differential.
Correct.
Because the fact that the opposition they play again are waiting the opposition. Everton don't really score goals.
Correct.
Brentford is a solid defense and they're playing Southampton, who relies on set pieces.
Yes, to score their
a lot.
goals. Yeah.
And Brentford is good at defending set pieces because Ivan Toney and those guys track back on set pieces, who's good headers at the ball. So if you want to go a little shaky, a little daring in game week 27, a Brentford defender.
I'm not vexed with that at all. I like that. So Ian saying Cap Tony vice Foden for me. I'm not vexed with that at all. For me, Captain Mitoma. That's for me, Captain Mitoma. And the cheeky one, I said them just now by Jensen outside, even outside, yeah. But and now of course the thing with Mitoma is that he's not on pens, and so that takes away the sure goals. I agree. I understand that, but based on form and just sheer will and power and desire that this man's showing, yeah boy. And even if sorry, go ahead.
Let's be honest, Salah has like 20-something goals for the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And he hasn't scored a penalty yet.
Come on.
He don't play for penalties.
Yeah.
That's something you can't call.
And the beauty about it is the way that Mitoma dribbles, he might draw the penalty. So I will take the assist point. Like he did last in one of the game, this same game going there.
Last
so
game,
Yeah, right? So I ain't vexed with that at all, at all. So yeah, we could move on now. We could go into some of the fixtures because of
But just
course we
to,
have.
just to, just to add to that Mitoma, obviously,
Hmm,
Mitoma, the one thing in Mitoma favor as well too, he's a midfielder. So you're getting the extra point if you get the clean sheet,
thank you,
and extra point as a midfielder. So that's the
thank
one
you.
thing in if you want to play devil's advocate away from
Yes,
Tony.
yes.
Tony, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know my policy, Paul. I don't like to captain strikers because for that same reason. I quicker captain defenders or midfielders. I used to captain Trippier. I used to captain Trent back in the day. I rather captain the guys with the higher potential. Because I mean, a striker has to score so much goals to outscore a defender that just score an
No, but
assist. You know.
bonus point system is weighted such that if a striker scores, he automatically normally gets 3 points bonus. That's how the weighted system is. So
Fair
they
enough.
get a big chunk of the bonus. So that's why most times when you see Tony score, he gets 9 because he
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
a
yeah,
big
that's
chunk of the bonus. So even though a midfielder will score, let's say they get 20 BPS, Tony will get like 50. It's a big chunk.
Yeah.
It's a bigger chunk
But
than the midfielders.
but the catch there. So Tony score. But let's say Raya had a boss of a game or Pinnock have a boss again. We seeing now where the keepers and the defenders getting the full
like if it's a
so
like if it's a 1-0.
yeah, and
Yeah, yeah,
pulling.
yeah.
So Tony
That's the
score,
only time.
yes. Right. So but I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it's subjective. It's so much that you can do. It's only so much you can do. Right. Now you're already seeing my team already, but I'll show you. Actually, no, let me show you okay before you go in. So this is my plan, guys. Watch me. This is my plan. I know it mad, I know it crazy. Watch it first before you yell at the screen. Watch it good. Right? This is my game plan going into the double game week. So Leno in post, Kilman, Pinnock, Trent, Rashi, Jensen, Saka, Captain Mitoma. I brought in WordPress as a cheeky punt just to tackle all, or if not at least majority of the doublers, because I don't have any Crystal Palace in this team. Kept Kane, and of course Tony up top. And a bench Johnson, Ealing, Ream. Now I feel Johnson could putt against Spurs. My gut telling me that. But I don't have the balls to bench any of those midfielders right now. Could possibly bench Kane. I ain't too sure about that. Caps, what's the whole just saying this? What are wrinkling the eyebrows there?
I don't know why I was worried about this team in the first place. I like this team because you have a nice spread of the points. Again, you're playing your game, so you're trusting on Jensen, which is your punt, and Ward-Prowse. So I can't say it's a bad pick because this is your style of playing. And you want to go with those little punty players who will, if they get something, you will climb in rank, obviously.
Yeah.
So this team is a well-balanced team. But in terms of Johnson, I can't really see a benching anybody to play Johnson.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Spurs, he might putt against Spurs, but more than one are highly unlikely. Spurs is a good team defensively. It's just they're not playing attractive and goal scoring football.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is a good team, and what you do, you're captain somebody who will probably be highly captained. So
Right.
even though he failed as a captain, you wouldn't see much of a difference in rank based on the rest of the players you have, which you cover about five doublers. So yeah, I like this team. I don't really have much critique in it because I know your style of playing. So that's why I say I don't really critique the team much because it suits your style of playing. A lot of high risk, high reward. Then.
Paul, talk to me. What do you think about this team?
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. I like the fact that you have a few differentials in there. As Cap was saying, yeah, it's your style. You know, to try and stick in a few differentials. I like the Ward Prowse shout. Because you never know, he could sneak something against Man. Even if Man United score 3 or 4 goals, you know, Ward Prowse could come in and get something like a free kick. But yeah, I don't see any holes. You cover Brentford. You have at least Mitoma there for your Brighton cover. The only thing I would start Kepa ahead of
Right.
Leno.
Right. Right.
That's
the only thing I'm
my only
debating.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my only
That's
thing.
what I'm debating.
Because
Yeah.
I don't like. I mean, I know sometimes it happens where you'll have a defender or a keeper going up against one of your midfielders or attackers, but I still like Chelsea how they playing defensive. They're playing much better football, and Kepa always, even if they're giving up opportunities, Kepa always coming through the saves.
Yeah.
So for me, I would rather have Kepa as my.
It's just a punt here. There's no offense. It's just a punt. I ain't trying to. Right, just a punt. No, funny enough, Kepa saved my whole weekend Champions League fantasy, Kepa and Reese, because I went against all judgment and I started them this week. Because I was like, you know what, boy, yes, they want to lose in end, but they have to go fit. That was my theme this week, right? They have to go fit. So I picked some players and Kepa and Reese came up front, but that's Champions League. That's a whole different ball game. But yeah, I that was something that's going to change. Kepa for sure. But the thing is, my only thing is, yes, Arsenal could cause some problems and score, but again, the save points. That's always like to go for those kind of people because you never know. He put down 6 saves. He gets at least one bonus.
I think with Leno, there's something romantic there with Leno against his old team.
Yeah, he might put in a big points. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, because as much as Fulham in decent form, though let's not. I just Paulinho miss everybody in real good form, and they still put 2 goals on Brentford. Right? Yes, they lost, but they didn't look too hot. To be fair, but when they're ready to attack and strike, and then Willian might have something you want to prove against us. It's all kind of back now.
That might actually be a close game because it's at Fulham as well, and it's a Monday night game, so you never know what could happen. And Arsenal, they're looking a little jittery, trying to hold off City. So it could be a close one, could be a 1-0 finish.
Jared, what about the Odegaard? He injured or he ill or something?
No,
he's flagged, he's flagged.
Yeah,
he's flagged, but I think he ill. Well, that's why.
It's nothing. Nothing. But he not only it's nothing bad. It's just a precautionary thing. That's why he wasn't even there today. It's nothing bad.
If he's still ill by weekend, they force my hand in that change.
Yeah, boy, that's the only problem. And he's not even listed.
Yeah, because if it's a risk, I think I might just take him out and done. Because of the double.
Yeah, I agree. Let me see here. Chelsea have been sorry recently. Yeah, it was Odegaard. Look, you ask about Odegaard. Yeah, he was ill today. Nah, it's just today. I don't think because he did travel. He did travel. Yeah, it's just he probably just had a bad something on there. So I don't think just precautionary.
Midweek games too, like when a player they don't see the player in the squad, they just immediately put the yellow flag. But most of the time, once you see 75%, it's just a precautionary thing.
Yeah.
It might be Odegaard this week, it might be Saka next week.
Correct. And all that L talk could be nothing, just because just carrying for cover.
That's something to say,
yeah.
The 3-0 or something.
Yeah. Thankfully it wasn't like that. Took we 2-all and running. They played good. It was a real good game. Sporting played good.
It was Sporting came from the Champions League. So.
Yeah, but Sporting could have punished us. I'm telling you. That was a very interesting game. It was a nice game. All right, so I will bring up your all teams in a bit. Let's just pick a few pictures. I won't go through all tonight. Just pick a few, and then we'll do the team. So again, let's look at this one. So of course, most people still have Liverpool assets, right? So Bournemouth versus Liverpool. I really feel that Bournemouth could give Liverpool trouble now. But if you had to pick an asset from either team, Paul, talk to me.
Bournemouth. Did someone score recently? I'm trying to remember the
It's Senesi, it have Utari who assisted Billing, Solanke.
Billing. Yeah. Actually Billing looks good. He could be a nice little differential shout for Bournemouth.
Right, just picking one thing. Right, so what we could do, we could just talk about all the Dublin teams, and then we'll move on to the next, right? So it won't take too long here. So of course, Palace are one of our let's go Brentford first. Sorry, so Brentford are one of our doublers. So Everton, Brentford, they want to tackle that fixture, best assets. One from Everton, one from Brentford. Caps, give me one there.
I like the Mbomo shout because I watched a couple of the counter attacks with Brentford last game, and Tony was far back in the counter. He's normally one sending the through ball to the runners, which is so I'll go with Mbomo because for differential sake, because most people would have Tony. Everton, I like Demario in this game.
Right.
He's somebody who can make something happen most times from a team that is underwhelming. He's one of the individual talents who could make a goal. So I would go with Gray and I would go with Mbomo.
Yeah. Ian, I fully agree with you, Ian. Utari brace of assists. And I'm telling you, Senesi was a clutch header. and Belen. Yeah, boy, I don't know why I feel Bournemouth could touch Liverpool, boy. But I want to let be Salah for Paul's sake, because I'm not a spiteful guy, Paul. I like to spread the points. So for your sake, I want Salah score fair. You know that I think that's fair. Let
Yeah,
Salah score and Darwin assist. Oh, what's
I,
wrong there? Darwin assist and Salah.
yeah. I think Bournemouth could pull a goal, but they given up real opportunities to it because that game against Arsenal had a real opportunities.
Yeah,
So,
but they weren't clinical. They weren't
I
clinical.
yeah.
think Liverpool want to send a message to Real, although it's a hard message, but
Yeah, correct.
they
And
want to send a
anything could
message
happen,
to
eh?
Real. Yeah.
And
Anything could
I think
happen.
Liverpool want to prove that this wasn't the Man United game wasn't a blip. I think they want to.
Problem, yeah.
I think they gather some confidence from that and they want to keep the momentum. So
Yeah, I
it should be a
agree.
good game. It should be a good game.
So Leeds facing off Brighton. Leeds hosting Brighton now. It's always tricky to go to Ellen Road, especially with this weather. I don't know, boy. This could be a really, really tricky one. As Caps was alluding, yes, Brighton in decent form, but these kind of games they mightn't go and light up the sky. But you never know. I will quicker go. I know I'll go to the defensive asset. I'll go with Meslier for Leeds, decent shot. He might be busy with some save points. Brighton, I wanna no. I just for differential wise, I'm not too convinced in him. I know a lot of people mention him, Ferguson, but to me, Welbeck in better form, but Welbeck coming off the bench, not starting. But to go with Ferguson just for a little differential shout there. Our next doubler is Palace City, another game that the result could be very interesting. Crystal Palace have been decent at home, very decent at home, and City have been wobbling recently. Right, they conceding goals. Sam Haaland not scoring as much. De Bruyne not looking too sexy. We never know what Patrick Vieira might do. He's very good at setting up against the big teams. We saw what he did against United in the first leg of that United game. So you never know. Caps, give us this one asset from Palace, asset from City, because of course Palace are doubling, and we did not discuss any Palace doublers. So give me two Palace assets now and one City, just for content's sake.
This is our Wolves Zaha game.
Okay,
Wilfred
okay,
Zaha. He likes to score against the bigger teams. I doesn't know if he have a added motivation or what, but Zaha always comes up trumps in those big against Arsenal, against Liverpool, against Man U, against Chelsea. He loves to score against Chelsea, and Palace is a bogey team for Man City. So
correct.
in all the discussions we have, I don't know why we left out Zaha as a viable option this week. And they also play against Arsenal, like a team he loves to score
Correct.
against next game week. So again, with Zaha is a nice little punt out there for who want to play a little risky, who want to catch up with the rank. Outside of Zaha, I would go who's your next Brighton? I'll go the next attacker. I will go
Yeah.
with Olise.
Right.
For the mere fact that he can score a free kick out of a game where they're losing 5-0, he could pop up with a free kick. 5-1, he end up with a nice 7 points there. So Olise and Zaha, but Zaha will be first on my agenda.
Yes.
Man City, well, they have Foden. We'll be big on Foden this week, and rightfully,
Yes.
I think this is a Foden kind of game where he had a little roadblock with Palace. He come and he score a bubble. He score a tap in from the back post. This is that kind of Foden kind of game.
Yeah.
So, well, we won't mention Haaland because he's just broken the game of FPL. So, Zaha first, Olise second from Palace, and definitely Foden from City.
Yeah. Ian making a good point here. Haaland is better away from home. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. He confused, here in this crowd. I was only 100 fans.
I won't be surprised if Haaland pop up with a hat trick any game he plays. That's the kind of nature of the player. Yeah.
Correct.
Home
I just have
away,
to close
neutral.
our eyes if it happens. Next double, moving. So Southampton is another team doubling, facing against Man U. So of course, Paul, I will naturally give it this game, but give me two Southampton assets now, just for the double sake, just for the conversation, and of course, Man United. Talk to me.
T. Adams seems like could be a good shout. He actually scored in the reverse fixture last season against us. So he has a little bit of history there as well. And he always seems to be popping up in the right places for Southampton. He's like, besides James Ward-Prowse, he's like their other threat. And then there's this guy. Noah might know his name. Alcatraz is Alcatraz.
Alcaraz, yeah, Alcaraz,
Alcaraz, yeah.
Alcaraz, yeah,
Alcatraz. Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Argentine,
He
yeah,
scored. Yeah,
Argentine,
yeah.
yeah.
He scored recently. He scored, but he
I
scored
think
last
I think
week.
he scored last game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
last two
yeah, he
games
could
actually.
be. Yeah. So he could be another threat as well.
Yeah, yeah, good
Against
shouts. I
us.
love it.
Yeah. Well, Man United, of course, as I said before, Rashford. Um, I like Bruno too. I like Bruno to do something in this game. I'll put one more name, throw one more name in the hat. Weghorst, who scored today.
Yeah, boy,
Yeah,
brilliant too.
he seen that goal. You saw how much that goal meant to him. That was his
Mention,
first
yeah.
goal
Mm-hmm.
in Old Trafford. So
Yes,
he'll be even hungrier Sunday to get on the score sheet
to
again.
add
You
more
know what?
shit,
You
yeah.
know when strikers get one, they usually try to start getting some more, getting in bunches. So
Yeah.
look out for Weghorst on Sunday.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Yeah, I saw a celebration. It was over the moon. It was like they won. Yeah, but it was emotional too as a neutral because I understand what he went through there.
And he's worked so hard. He's worked hard off the
Yes,
ball.
correct.
He's not the best striker in the world, but he gives you work ethic,
Yes, and as an extra
and
body in the box there.
he'll always press, when they don't have the ball. So
Yeah,
we really like Weghorst,
yeah.
and what he's given to Man United since he's come across on loan.
Yeah, man, for a player of his standard, yeah, that's solid. Well, we won't dilly dally on these because we double up the assets there. The only thing Brighton, if we have to give two assets for Brighton, obviously the main men, Mitoma match, of course, you can mix it up, McAllister, Mitoma, McAllister match. You have Estupinian, Ferguson as a differential if you want to go there. So we have some decent options there for sure. We did discuss Brentford asset. So before we move on, let me just bring up caps and let me see. Ian said, "Yeah, will be a good buy." Figured, yeah. The only thing is buying United men, sorry, and the
On
blanket.
that
That's the only problem. That's the only problem. Right. So let me go with caps team first because Paul sent me option A and option B. So you want some time on that. Right. So caps. This is caps proposed team here. For the double 27. Hold on, let me just remove this and then we can start. So Caps walk us through the thought process now.
yeah.
Now, of course, most of the team wouldn't be too changer because they're wild carded, but talk to us in
Yeah.
the process.
Wildcard and I don't really want to use the free transfer because I already have a benching headache. So why use a free transfer when I have a benching headache?
Yeah.
Um, Raya safely in goal, Henry, Estupinian and the doubles. I actually think Arsenal could concede in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I also not sold on Newcastle. So I think any higher upside might be Chilwell instead of Trippier.
Mm-hmm.
For his
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
attacking returns, if you get a clean sheet, you could see a double pointer, a double digit pointer there. And it's just how I want to play. I don't want to play safe, too safe in these coming. I already made the wild card, I already got burned by it, so I don't want to change my style because I made a mistake that I can come back to want. I want to play the same way and keep consistent to my game. So I went with the one. I actually had Mitoma on the wild card and I changed it to match.
Right.
But again, is a throw the dice really. Either one of those midfielders could pop up. You have your safe Rashford, you have Saka. Now I have between Odegaard and Madison.
Right.
So I just going on form. Arsenal is the league leaders. If
Right.
Odegaard is sure to play, I would play Odegaard. Why I wouldn't change him for Brentford defender because both of them would have 2 games over the next 2 game weeks. Brighton, because Brighton would blank next week and I
Right.
would have
Correct.
Odegaard. So again, it makes no sense in making a change. We could enforce a -4 down the road. So just keep Odegaard. For me, I would just keep Odegaard and he played the next 2 weeks. And it's the same 2 fixtures that he has in comparison to Brighton midfielder, who is not short of bang. I mean, Arsenal is the league leaders. Odegaard is a form player. And again, I always like to back big players to score the points. So that's why I would keep Odegaard once I know he's fit. And even though he's not fit, I have Madison coming on who could score against anybody who is fixture proof. So I already have Odegaard covered in that aspect. Again, my forward line, I had Tony from the wild card, high on Haaland all the time, and João Felix is middle differential because you have a lot of strikers, but most of them not scoring points. Kane, those guys, they're not consistently scoring. So João Felix, if he bangs, he could be a nice differential to climb up the ranks. He plays next week and then he doubles in 29. So this was my thinking for the wild card. And I want to stick to that thinking, not because I had a bad game week, mean I should change my plans.
Right.
I
Yeah.
stick to my plans. So obviously the team is open for any pointers you guys may have.
Yeah. Paul, anything at all to add for this?
No, it looks good. It looks good. I like his team. He covered all the double game makers. Um, very similar to mine. And yeah, I like the Chilwell, as an option instead of Trippier starting. But yeah, you're looking good. You're looking like you said there.
Right. Now, before we move on to Paul, Ian sent his team and he wants to know he having some benching headaches, so he just wants us to give some suggestions. I'm gonna give you the exact code. He's trying to see who to bench. He wants to know who to bench. So let me run through. So he has Raya, me, Estupinian, Zinchenko, Foden, Saka, Mitoma, Rashford, Keane, Haaland, Tony. And on the bench, Martinelli, Royal, Lewis, and Foster. Cap, start with you. What you will think? You will think it at all or leave it as is? Good 11?
The only issue I would have is the Zinchenko defensive position. But we already eliminate Lewis because he's too much of a risk whether he starts or not. He can just be a 1-pointer. So we don't want to go with a risk. Arsenal is the league leaders at the end of the day. You have Emerson Royal and Zinchenko. I personally think I would play Emerson Royal against Forest at home. Recently, he has been very high on the attacking front. He had an assist and a goal recently. Spurs again is not a bad team defensively. They are a solid defensive team, a Conte style defensive team. They just don't score goals. But I see the argument why you put Zinchenko. But for me, the only change I would make is Emerson Royal for Zinchenko.
Paul, thoughts?
Did Emerson start in the Champions League? And I didn't
I don't think he played.
look at the Spurs. Just in case, just for rotation.
Yeah,
That's my only doubt. Yeah, I don't know if he might rotate because recently he did some. I saw Royal was playing had a good string of games and then afterwards he benched him recently.
Yes. You're right.
I don't want to say it, whereas with Zinchenko you're pretty much sure he will start for Arsenal.
Yeah, correct.
But Royal is a good call. I mean that's my only thing there. Is whether he will.
So Emerson was benched last game.
Yeah, last game when he played 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
Yeah. But that means, but then again, you could look at it as that means he should be sure to start this one.
But since he restarted, he has scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Attacking potential too.
Last 7 games, he scored 2 goals. And he also had 1.
And he got a bonus point against Chelsea when they played
3, 4. So he has in the last 7 games, he has 2 goals and 4 clean sheets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and he gets in bonus points as well.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, it can end up a break-even move. So just trust your gut. Keep an eye on the news and see if.
To me too, Spurs have the better matchup in terms of they're coming up against Nottingham Forest at home, whereas Zinchenko is going away to Fulham.
Yeah.
So it might be a little trickier.
Well, if you want to eliminate risk, just play Zinchenko. Eliminate all risk in the game week.
Yeah.
Because Lewis is a big risk, and if you think Emerson is a risk, just eliminate the risk.
I agree.
Yeah. I think so too.
All right, so let's tackle Paul, and then of course we do our transfer 11 really quickly. There, thanks everyone for coming through, and thanks for coming through in the chat, Javid, everybody, Shamir. All right, so let's go with A. I label it A. Paul, I know this one is A. I label it A and B. So this one, you send this one for me here. Right, so run us really talk on now. What is this? You sent me 2 teams. So these are what you're planning to do. This is your thought process. Talk to me.
Well, actually, I already make my transfer. I just did the transfer. That was Sewell Pickford, and I brought in Raya. So I have the double gimmick. Extra double gimmick. Yeah, double gimmick keeper. But yeah, I just try to keep it simple and I'm not looking to risk points. I already have my 3 Brentford, Tony, me, and Raya. And for Brighton, I have Mitoma and Estupina. And basically keeping the same team, Haaland, Darwin. The reason why I'm starting Darwin ahead of Odegaard, I feel like he's looking good. He's in some good form. He scored in the last 2 games he started for Liverpool. And I like the matchup too, and I like the fact that he's getting forward. Whereas with Odegaard, I'm not too sold on Arsenal recently, and Odegaard is playing more of a creative role for Arsenal. So that's the reason why I bench Odegaard and starting Darwin in this one. But everything else is basically Saka. As I said before, I wish I didn't have Gabriel, but he still gives you a goal threat, potential goal threat there as a Arsenal. So he'll start for me. I don't really have anybody else on the bench per se, but my team, I just rallying out with this team until 28, and then I might possibly use the wild card to fix it up a little bit in preparation for game week 29.
Right, but that was my next question, because I'm watching the team and there are a lot of blankers coming up. So that was my next question.
So that's my plan. So the wild card is kind of like using it like a free hit flash preparation for 29 and 29. My intention is to use the bench boost. I still have the bench boost, so I'll use that for the double game week. And save the free hit for later on. Any next potential blank game week or any other double that may come up.
And your final captain choice? You're not sure yet. I know it's still
so that's where the two teams came in. I actually sent one with the captain on. I think this one is on the captain.
Tony. Yeah, switch this one. This is one. Switch there. This
right, and the other one was the captain. But as I said before, it looks like I think everybody will go for it too. I think there was a poll. I saw a poll online, and it said 64% was in favor of Tony, and it makes sense because Tony's on penalties. He's Brentford marksman. He always in and up and around everything that Brentford does. So it only makes sense to captain Tony for this game week.
Hey, big up IBK in the chat. FPL Sandwich, please go give him a follow and subscribe. Great colleague and friend to the channel. I'm thinking to wildcard 28, bench boost 29, free 82. So similar to what you were saying there. And I think that's the strategy for most people that still have those chips.
And that way I could get rid of Salah, get rid of Darwin, get rid of all those blankers who I don't really want. Most likely I'll still keep Rashford, Mitoma. I don't know about Haaland. Haaland is I'll have to think about that one. But yeah, definitely wildcard 28, bench boost 29, and most likely free hit 32.
I like what you said there, IDK. Is blank game week and double game week is like quantum physics, especially that 28 and 29, because that 29 is crazy. Really, I don't know how we do not show when we reach theirs.
Then we have an international break before that. So might have possible injuries.
That's the next one. Exactly.
That's the reason why I high on Odegaard, because I want to go into 29 with 2 free transfers at least. So I would feel 11 and 28 based on my wildcard. I would feel 11 players. And then I would go into 29 with 2 free transfers to try and give myself the best chance. I might have like 14 doublers with those 2 free transfers. That's why I said that although I had a bad game week, I thought I set up myself good.
But Cap, let me answer something. You would bench boost in 29, or you're holding on to it?
Yeah, I bench boost 29. As I said, I end up with 14 doublers.
Okay, right. Oh yeah.
And the single player would be Saka against Leeds. So no complaints.
So I had a poll up. So we got some decent votes in here. So I asked the best combo for double game week 27. I asked something similar on Instagram, but I switched up the assets here. So of course, it's only fair, right? I mean, I was trying to be cheeky, but I say why not leave the 2 best together? So Mitoma Tony got 80%, March and Bremo 20%, Jensen McAllister nothing, and Raya Estepinian. I was just trying to be cheeky there. But of course, he looked like the best pair. Mitoma Tony followed by March and Buemo. And if you had to, Paul, I don't know if you voted already, but if you was voting, who the best pair here that catch your eye? Again, Mitoma Tony, March and Buemo, Jensen McAllister, or Raya Estepinian.
Jensen McAllister, just to be different.
Right.
Because I know
Yeah.
everybody would have
Yeah.
gone Mitoma
Yeah.
Tony, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jensen McAllister seemed like a nice differential.
Yeah, because what I did there, I tried to give you your guy you one penalty and then give you a nice differential. So you know you're feeling you're solid there. And I would also go with the Jensen McAllister as well for me, just as a wildness, you know me, just for wildness. Right? Let me just see what the comments say, and then we could go straight into our transfer 11. Going into 29 with 2 free transfers is smart. Yeah, for sure. Once you could do it, yes, and that is why I made my team the way I made my team, so that I don't have to. My team I won't have too much fires to put out in terms of blankers. That's why I just want to do one Brighton, sorry, when Ham on Brentford playing for consecutively for a while, so I'll take that. And they share their goals, so you never know. Even if Jensen blank one, he might come in the next one. Things like that.
No,
So,
just to continue on the point you was making.
mm,
Have a situation where I have 3 players injured for 29 because of the international break. I just won't bench boost
right,
because I would still feel 11 doublers with the transfers I have and the players I have.
right.
So I have a flexible plan and there's bench boost. I read something today that the guy who came 200 in the world last year, he bench boost in the last game week. He only got like 11 points, but the increase in 11 points when nobody played that chip got him up to 200 in the world. So I mean,
Mm,
they could use it as a weapon down in the line. So I already have a contingency plan, just do bench boost if we have a lot of injuries because
right.
international break is always get some kind of niggle or some
Yeah.
player reaching back late or some
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
I see some people actually doing it. Well, of course it's team dependent. Some people doing it this week to get
To negate
to make it that possible injury situation in game week 29. So
Yeah.
that's a good call as well.
No, I think if you have 10 to Ian saying I have 10 playing next week, worth using a transfer next week or roll. Yeah, roll. Once you have 10,
Well,
9 to
because
10, as
and I'm
Paul
sure the
said.
10 that you have it will cover the main players, which is the
Yes.
Sakas and the
Yeah.
Watkins, and those guys will be highly owned.
Yeah. I would say
Yeah,
roll for sure.
to me, once they have 9 or 10,
Yeah.
Don't beat up yourself to make any minuses.
Yeah.
It'll be a low scoring game week anyway.
Especially going into 29, you want to give yourself the best advantage going into 29. For sure. Yeah, because that's 29 going to be lit. All right, so what formation are we going with? Guys, in the comments, if you guys can help us out, pick our transfer 11. Remember, it's not a predictive 11, just the guys you think you should bring in with your premium players. So, of course, there's another double. So, we can go heavy on the double or allow 2
I think
players from each team.
we should go high on the midfield because of the fact that we have doublers. Go 5 midfield.
So, a 3-5-2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so take it away. Start anywhere you want to start. Sorry?
We're going differential. We're just going with the free team or what?
You want to do a free team for this one, right? Seeing as there's so much doublers. I mean, but I think we have enough differentials that we could go different.
Yeah, all right.
But
then
to me, but is Mitoma premium yet? No, I don't think so. What's his ownership?
Premium was over.
Zaha is still a midfielder, right? Correct?
Yeah, Zaha is a midfielder.
Right. Now, no, some is a striker. Where's Mitoma ownership?
I'll check in here.
Because if it decent, well, anyway. Yeah. Paul, by the time, anybody want to throw in?
Zaha could be a nice call there. If you go in differential, yeah.
Mitoma is 19.
What's our number? Our number is 15.
Yeah, McAllister is 5%, 4.7.
Well, all right. McAllister, it is the man on penalties.
Yeah, McAllister. And March would be higher than that. March is 8.5.
Right. So you have McAllister, Zaha. Talk to me.
I know you guys were high on JWP.
All right. Yeah. I like that shout, Ian. I think I'll put him in a way thing, guys, but we have better doublers to put over him. He's saying Solomon.
We'll hold on Solomon until.
I will hold, but I like that shout. Because we want to try and go ham on the doublers.
We're going hard on the doublers.
Yeah, for sure. So McAllister, who's the best keeper going into this game week, doubler?
Had to be the Brentford, you know.
All right.
Had to be the Brentford.
With that.
For the fact that they're playing Everton and
Yes,
Southampton.
yes. The potential is low for him
Yeah.
conceding. Yeah. But you won't be as busy, probably. That's the only bad thing. You won't be
The
as
12
busy.
save points is better than
Yeah, I agree. Over double, yes. If this was a single
If
game
a
week,
single, yeah, we wouldn't
yeah,
have
I would
got
have quicker go somebody else. Correct. When you doubling, you go for the sure 12 points and you might get, you never know, you might catch a bonus. Never know. He might save a word prospect. You never know. But I don't want
penalty.
that.
Talk
Talk to me, Paul. Who missing for you?
The guy Chilwell now.
Are you watching?
Chilwell.
All right.
There's actually no about to say Chilwell. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who else again there, Paul? Talk to me. Oh, you're not saying 4-4-2.
Well, we can always change. Let me see how
Yeah.
stretched we
Yeah,
get.
that's a decent show. Yeah, it's a decent
To put
defenders.
Ria.
Yeah.
Ria.
Was that all?
Ria.
Yeah, we are right already.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ria already. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me. I use any phone now, so I kinda.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. So we have McAllister, Ward-Prowse, Zaha, Chilwell, and Raya so far.
Okay.
Well,
So the defender, Stupian.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, he Dublin, so why not? So.
Why not? No, yeah. This, we don't like to talk about. We
You know the highly on yet.
Yeah.
I think he had 9%. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think 15 is our cutoff. Yeah. All right. It's Stupinian, Chilwell. A cheeky. No, we have him already. Okay, no bother.
How about your boy, Jared?
What's that?
Gakpo.
All right, you want to play in Gakpo? All right, so as a single game week shout?
Because I think Darwin highly won. Yeah.
Okay. Gakpo was a cheeky shout, single game week. So we have Chilwell and Gakpo as our single game week players. All right. We still need a defender, Paul, one more midfielder, and 2 strikers.
All right. You want to give Ian this guy Foden?
Okay, as a single. I find it going heavy on the single, right? Single. But it's a good fixture.
Yeah, he is high on Foden. I mean,
yeah. So you can beg him up if he come out good. If not, yeah. So we need 2 strikers, Paul, one defender.
A defender. Who boy?
What was your boy? Who did you have in the game? It was me. What your boy me Pennock. No too much spent for.
I think he have more than 15.
Okay.
I think he highly owned. Yeah.
Pennock and them might be highly owned too. Yeah.
I'll just give it a quick check.
Yeah. Thanks, Caps. Thanks very much.
I think the last time I checked, he was.
Me is at 17.5.
Oh yeah, that's above.
Pinnock is 1%.
Wow.
Henry is 3.6.
All right. You're convinced by them or no? Or you rather double up Brighton and put Veltman as the opinion? I'm waiting.
I like doubling up on Brentford. To be honest.
So which defender you like there then? Henry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Henry's like a fullback, you know. I like Henry. Although Pinnock scored a goal, yeah.
No, for real. No, Henry got advanced in the Fulham game, you know. He got advanced and put some.
He's supposed to get assist,
Yeah.
I think it was Mbomo missed.
Yes, correct. We need 2 strikers. We didn't call anybody yet.
But I gotta go on Brian Mbomo.
All right, so Mbomo.
And then we have one.
Striker. How much Brighton?
No. You don't have to agree. But our real names are gonna call here for wildness. Ferguson, Che Adams. You have Edward Mateta. Don't laugh. I just call the names, right? You have
Watkins.
Watkins as a single game week option. I love it, right? I just call them some cheeky names there. So do that what you mean, guys. Let me know who you think. Ian, you have what Ian said there. I love it.
Weghorst.
Waiting for wild. That's wild.
That's real wild.
Wild. Right? I like the Veltman show too, but I will mentally put Veltman in the head because I like the Veltman show as a double. But it must have your Brentford because it on paper they look least likely to concede or at least not concede more than 1 goal. Yeah. Striker then. So you have to agree. Who we agreeing on?
I like the Ferguson shout. I don't know what y'all think. Take the third Brighton. Because how much Brighton we have? We have 2, right?
We have 2, yeah.
Yeah. Estupinian McAllister.
They want to go single game week. If they're going single game week, to me, Watkins.
Watkins the best shot. Who have the best fixture single game week striker wise? In your opinion? I mean that's subjective, eh?
Differential.
Yeah.
No. Jimenez. I was just joking.
Jimenez.
No, but now they're playing West Ham. That's a decent show. West Ham.
Let me go Danny Ings against Villa.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
I think. Danny Ings against Villa.
Yeah.
I like it. And against his whole team.
Yeah.
It's on my radar.
Yeah.
And this is his whole team. Yeah.
It's poetic. So
just like Leno versus Arsenal.
Correct. So just to wrap up, we have Raya and goal, Estupinian, Rico Henry, Chilwell, Foden, James Ward-Prowse. We have McAllister, Gakpo, Zaha, Ings, and then Mbeumo. Right. So this is our transfer 11. The guys we think you should bring in.
Who would be captain there?
If you want to captain, so we could do that. If you want to captain somebody, boy. Well, I will give you 2 options. So you can single game week, I will captain Foden, and double game week, I will captain Mbeumo. That's me.
Double.
That's me.
Yeah, I'll go double. Mbeumo.
All right. No, I'm just giving options if you want to captain a single. Yeah.
So you captain Mbeumo, and let me see if we break the 100 barrier next week.
Right. I like that. Ian say captain Mbeumo. So Ian, so Caps, remind me to pull it up. Let me save it now.
Yeah, screenshot it.
Remind me to pull it up for the
Just let me calculate. Just send it for me to calculate Wednesday.
Yeah. Let me send it to you now so you have it on time. Right?
Yeah,
so we get
just
to
the 100 barrier.
Yeah. Because we're not doing too the team's not doing too bad. Right. So closing remarks, advice for this game week double coming up here. Of course, if you want to chuck in some blank advice, Paul, start us off.
Once again, everything is dependent on your team. Don't try to copy or look at everybody else's situation. Try to focus on what is best for your team. Yes, it has certain players that everybody have, but it has always been nice when you have 1 or 2 little differentials you throw in there. Sometimes that 1 or 2 differential might make the huge difference. I know everybody just say, well, your side looking too template because it have this and this and this, but just that 1 or 2 differential pick could be the pick that sends you up the ranks. Yeah. So just be patient. And also remember whatever move you're making that the following week is a blank game week.
Yeah.
Just keep that in the back of your head.
Thank you for that. Caps, talk to me.
I just have in addition to what Paul said, for the case of Arsenal, Arsenal midfielders, if we're looking at this game week, where let's say Jared has 2 Brighton, I have 2 Arsenal, and I have a Brighton covered. Yes, he might get the gains this week because he has 2 Brighton, but next week I would get the gain because I would already have 2 players playing in a blank game week. So watch at your team in that aspect and tell yourself, yes, I might lose some points this week, but next week I would be in a better position than him. So that has to do with and with a chip strategy and on all the upcoming blanks and doubles. Don't just watch in a 1 week game, watch in a 3 to 4 week game, and then gauge your progress from there.
Yeah, and I've extra that. Of course, don't forget to click that save button in the tizzy, in the rush, you're panicking, you're overthinking. Do not forget to click that save button. And of course, do a bit of research, check the injury, check your weather. Weather, I think, is the most important news right now. Right? Check that weather report. And if we see anything, I'll put it up on our Instagram page and our Twitter page, of course. Let me see what else I could bring up for you all. I mean, yeah, that's it really. And of course, follow your gut, because I mean, sometimes, we have all this advice, all these different content creators saying stuff, but you have to play for your team, as Paul Paul kept saying throughout the episode, you have to play towards your team. You can't just say, oh, go, well, this person tell me because I saw a content creator quit because she got some abuse and whatnot. Very popular content creator. Because she just suggested something. We just here suggesting. We're not telling you to do this flat out, or what we say is law. We are just playing. And you see how I play. I will never suggest anyone to play how I play ever, right? I'm just giving you options. I like to be, hey, well, don't think about that guy. That's it. But play to your strengths, play to your team, play to where you change to your rank. If you're trying to maintain rank like Cap, or like me, you're trying to gain some rank, you want to just break the 100K, just say 800K, that's your goal. Play towards that, play to your strength. So yeah, and of course the greatest piece of advice ever, please like, share, and subscribe. If you like the video, please tell your friends about us. We're trying to get up there in our subs. We're trying to be your number one home for fantasy content. I think we already are because we're doing F1, right? F1 is currently going to look at our watch along. We had a great watch along. We have a league as well, highly contested league already. Caps things on fire already. You will be back for a preview next week. Well, yeah, following week, because the 19th is the next Grand Prix, Saudi Arabia GP. And I'm very happy with the response that we've got to the league. I had to make 2 leagues because we got an overwhelming response, especially from FPL, people who've never watched a game of F1 in their life. So, especially Caps, I really appreciate that. So, as usual, may a captain score a trick, may a defender skip a clean sheet, may a goalkeeper save a penalty, and happy picking. We'll see you all in the next one, and hopefully you on the right side of the green arrows, guys. Take care.